I want to thank you all for coming on this beautiful October morning here in the Midwest. Just going to kind of follow the same format. If you remember, if any of you were here for football, but a little bit different, President Smith's going to get up here and say a few words after myself. Then Josh Moon, athletic director, is going to follow. And then we're going to have Coach Fredrickson say a statement, take Q&A. Then we're going to have a couple of his student athletes come up here and do a quick Q&A if any of you have any questions. Mr. Moon's going to come back up here, introduce Coach Sather, and then he's going to follow the same format. He's going to speak, followed by a couple of student athletes. And then when we wrap everything up, if any of you have like any individual stuff you want to do, any media members with any of the coaches or student athletes, we'll do that. So we're going to get started here. President Smith.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our trace of snow that was predicted. Those of you who were watching the news last night, it said a trace to a half an inch when I went to bed at 10:30. And it's good to know that you can be wrong and still be employed as a weather person, because I believe there are 3 inches of snow laying on the ground. And hopefully you didn't slip and slide too much getting here today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us in kicking off 2013-2014 for men's and women's basketball. Certainly an exciting time for all of us to be in this facility, to be in this portion of the facility. Now having it done and broken in by a year has been really good for us, and certainly we're coming off good records for both men and women from last year. I know it's never enough in the mind of players and coaches. We'll always want to do better, and we certainly are looking forward to seeing that product on the court in just a couple of days. Some of you know, those of you who don't follow the media may not know that men's and women's basketball for Division II has the largest fan support here at Northern State University in the country. And there are not many things we can say at Northern that we are the biggest and the best in the country, but we are the biggest and the best in overall attendance at men's and women's basketball, and we want to thank you for being there and being a part of that. Women this year, I just read this statistic yesterday, I couldn't believe it. We are in the top 60 of all programs regardless of classification. So if you think about a University of Nebraska or Ohio State or the University of Washington, they can have easily 10 times the number of students that we have. We're in the top 60 nationwide in attendance for women's basketball. We'd certainly like to be in the top 10. We'd like to be in the top 10 for men's basketball. We like it when it's loud. We like it when you're there. We certainly like it when you can cheer us on and help us make a difference in getting those wins. I know Josh has several words that he wants to share with you. I know Coach Fredrickson and Coach Sather both have things they want to share. And I do want to say that we often think about basketball or whatever the sport might be as a head coach and the players, and I know both the coaches will do this, but really it's an entire staff that works with our students. Coach Bernard was over here a minute ago. He's the only guy I know in 3 inches of snow has shorts on. But it takes an entire staff to do the work to get the quality of product that you see on the court, both day in and day out, and we want to thank all those folks. And again, I know the coaches will say something about their respective staffs, but we're certainly looking forward to a great season. We will kick off in just a day or two, which will be a lot of fun, and the season will go on and the fun will intensify. So thank you all again, and go Wolves.
Well, this event really is the kickoff to our winter sports season. We do have some events left for our fall season, and I think a lot of you've seen the press our volleyball team has gotten. Coach Aldridge and Coach Foster have done a great job this year, so we have some home matches coming up in volleyball, and this weekend we have a home football game as well, so we have football, 2 home football games, so look forward to some kind of wrapping up the fall season. And some soccer. Coach Cam, are you out there? There he is. He's way over there. Okay, so we still have some fall sports left. But again, this event is really the kickoff to our winter sports season, so we're excited about that. And as Dr. Smith mentioned, the tradition here and being here for a little over a year now, I can, evident with the culture of basketball and how important it is to this community and the state. So again, something that really proud of, really excited about to kick the season off. Tonight, we're actually having our second annual Halloween Hoop Fest. So this is something we started last year to really kick off the season. And tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll have our Wolves Buddies costume contest, giving away free Culver's custard and pizza for NSU students. So really trying to get the fans out, get an early glimpse at both the men's and women's program. So tonight at 6, the women's basketball team will be scrimmaging, inter-squad scrimmage, and then the men's team will scrimmage the Blue Angels, which is a Division I, Division II All-Star team from, Coach, I'm not sure where they're from, but they're from probably all over the country, all over the world. So that'll be at 7:30, so a good chance to see both programs in action tonight. I think Dustin Tetzlaff is going to play tonight for the Blue Angels. I think he's been hitting the biceps hard up here, but not too much in the cardio. So I don't know how good a shape he's going to be in. Maybe a coach can provide some insight. So you can see Dustin Tetzlaff tonight for the Blue Angels, scrimmaging our men's basketball team as well. So again, should be a good night to kick things off for Wolves basketball. Our first guest today is Coach Fredrickson. Coach is entering his 35th season at Northern State University. He's the second winningest active coach in NCAA Division II with 723 career wins. He's one of two women's Division II coaches with more than 700 wins, two-time NAIA national champion, inducted to the NSU Hall of Fame in '92, and last year he was inducted into the NAIA and South Dakota Sports Hall of Fame, so 2013, received both those honors. And he is the recipient of a two-time National Coach of the Year and two-time NSCC Coach of the Year. Again, entering his 35th season for Northern State University, Coach Kurt Fredrickson.
Thank you. Appreciate everybody coming. At this point in time, I'd like to introduce my coaching staff. Erin, would you stand up? Erin's our graduate assistant. She's been with us 2 years now. Former college player from, what college? University of Dubuque in Iowa, and done a great job for us, and this is her second year, so she obviously knows what's going on. Our new assistant coach, Elena Benson, just came over from Presentation College. I'm going to have Elena come up and just say a couple words and introduce herself to you just a little bit.
Well, Coach just introduced me, so you all know my name. And like he said, I was over at Presentation College for the past 4 years. Before that, I was actually here at Northern as a grad student. I was a GA for the softball program. And before that, I was at the University of Minnesota-Morris. I graduated there in 2008, and I played basketball and softball, did a little tennis in there too. Not very good at that. So I will just stick to the basketball and softball thing. But, you know, I would like to thank everybody, and most importantly, Coach Fredrickson, for giving me this opportunity to be here. And I really look forward to coaching these girls. It's been great the past month, been a smooth transition, and I'm very excited to see where we will go this season. So thank you.
Well, we're excited to get started. We've had, I think, 8 practices now, and we've had 2 or 3 scrimmages, which have helped. Tonight we've got an inter-squad game. We've got our team split equally, and one of these 2 coaches is going to lose an inter-squad scrimmage tonight, and one of them is going to win. So we presently have 19 players on our team. We've got 2 seniors. We've got 7 juniors. We've got 3 sophomores, and we've got 7 freshmen. So very much a junior, freshman-oriented basketball team. And I'm going to introduce 3 of my upperclassmen captains here in a second. But we have 19 players on our team, and with those 19 players, we play 26 varsity games, and we have 11 junior varsity games scheduled for our younger players. They can't exceed 26 games a year, but at least our younger players get an opportunity to show us what they can do a little bit and put the uniform on and go out and play, and it really kind of keeps their enthusiasm up. Just a little bit about last year. Our record last year was 16-12. We beat Wayne here in the playoffs, lost Concordia in the second round in Minneapolis. We're very strong in a couple areas last year. We were, I think, 2nd in the league in team defense, and we were 3rd in the league in team rebounding. So We defend and we rebound pretty well. The area that we really need to improve upon is our three-point shooting. Out of 16 teams last year in our league, we were 16th as far as shooting percentage from the three-point line. So if we can improve that part of our game and continue to do some of the other things that we've done in the past, we certainly should have a very successful season. Our first games of the year are going to be out at South Dakota Tech and Black Hills State. We play out there on the 15th and 16th, so we've got a couple weeks of practice before we head out there. Both of them are Division II. As far as injuries are concerned, we've had a couple of kids out, a couple of our big kids. Last night we had a scrimmage against Dakota Wesleyan here, and Lauren Dietrich is a sophomore post player from Waconia, Minnesota. It's got Dietrich's daughter. Some of you remember him in the 80s, was an All-American post player here. And Lauren, I think, has got a lot of potential to do some good things for us this year. She went down with a knee about 2 weeks ago. We thought for sure she tore her ACL. And the MRI came back where she didn't tear her knee, but she's got a badly bruised knee. And still limping around on it, but we should get her back in a couple weeks. So she's been out of practice. And then Sadie Stoltzberry, who started 5 games for us last year as a sophomore, and probably had her greatest game against Wayne in the playoffs here, had a bursa sac taken out of her leg and has kind of left a hole in her leg that's healing from the inside out, so that's taken some time, and hopefully we can get her back. I think she'll probably start practice tomorrow night, but we've been without her for 2 weeks. So last night we're scrimmaging Dakota Wesleyan. We got one 6'2" girl keeping score and the other 6'2" girl keeping the scoreboard. So that's kind of how things have gone for us so far. But the other people have been very, very healthy. Before I introduce my upper class captains, certainly would welcome any questions if anybody has any questions about our team or our season. Okay, yeah, John.
How do you improve your three-point shooting?
Well, obviously you got to practice it and practice, and if you have players that consistently have trouble shooting some three-pointers, then you might want to try some different players, and that's what we might do. You know, some of them have had a couple years now to show us that they can hit some shots, and if that's continually a problem, then it's time to do something different. And so we're not afraid to play some of our younger kids if it's going to help win some games for us. And you know, I'm all for playing upperclassmen, but we're going to play the best players we have, regardless of what age they are, and give us the best chance to win. So that's how you improve it. Have some different people shoot. Any other questions? All right, come on up here, ladies. These are our 3 captains of our team, and some different perspectives here a little bit. Katrina Kerstead is from Wall, and she's a senior. Her and Allie are the 2 seniors on our team. Has a little bit different perspective than these other 2. Katrina has never started a basketball game for us. She's in her senior year, and her teammates elected her one of our team captains, and I think that certainly says a lot about Katrina. We've got Allison Kusler, who's a senior this year, 2-time All-Conference player, and one of our leading scorers on our team, and Rachel Krogman, who I think has gotten better every year. Rachel and Allie came in together. Rachel had a knee problem a couple years ago, redshirted and took a medical hardship, and now she's still only a junior this year, and certainly is going to give some opposing coaches some problems. So I'm going to let Katrina start off here just saying a couple words.
All right. Well, like Coach said, I have a different perspective as a non-starter. Minutes have really never been a big thing for me, but what has been is, as a leader on the team this year, I focus on 2 things, and it's leading by example with my hard work and a great attitude. So I'm here for the upperclassmen to push them to their full potential, and I'm here for the underclassmen as a mentor and help them with their transition with their new career at NSU. I guess I'm from Wall, South Dakota, and that's pretty much it. So yeah.
Like Coach said, I'm also a senior with Katrina, and she does a great job. I'm really excited to be a senior with her and finish together, so we really appreciate all her support. Like she said, even though minutes aren't really a big factor. We also want to just thank everybody for all of your support throughout the whole year, not only just in our season. It's always such an exciting time to start the season and especially get to play on our home court and with our home fans, and we appreciate your support when we go on the road too. So thank you for that, and we're really excited to start the season.
I'm Rachel Krogman. Like Coach said, I'm a redshirt junior. I came in with these two, and it's been the best 4 years of my life. I'm really excited for the season. I'm a center post player, so I've got a couple underclassmen that really help me work harder and get better because, honestly, I think I'm shorter than both of them. So they definitely push me a lot, and we've got some incoming freshmen who are going to help us build our team and get better and better, especially with the returners that we have this year. We should be able to put together a great season and get a lot further in the playoffs this year. So I think all of us are just ready to go. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions for any of these three ladies? All right, thanks.
All right, next up is Paul Sather. Coach is entering his 4th season with the Wolves. He has 45 wins at Northern and 139 for his career. Last year, he led the Wolves to their first 20-win season since 2007-2008, and the 20 wins are the most last year since 19 in 2008-2009, so coming off a great season. He is the 22nd coach in Northern State University men's basketball history, Coach Paul Sather.
Thanks, Josh. Dr. Smith, I think he might have taken off. Thanks for coming. First thing I want to do is introduce our staff as well. Coach Severide. Coach Severide's been here for, well, this is his 4th year. We came in together. And I always think it's really important. I felt when I was at Black Hill State as well, it's so much more than a one-person job. And a guy like Coach Severide who's been here together for this time, it's like you have 2 head coaches. And I appreciate all the work he puts in. He brings a lot to our team on the floor. He brings a lot to recruiting, bringing new players in. And, you know, for a guy that's 5'9", about 150 pounds, he's still one of the tougher guys I've been around. And I think that's a great thing to have. Every day in practice, he's ready to go. But when we're out recruiting as well, that competitiveness really comes through. So, you know, we've been happy with how things have gone. And, you know, we just want to continue to get better and keep building. So I want to say thanks to Coach Severide. We got 2 new assistants here helping us out, our graduate assistants, John Ritzdorf. John's a graduate from UNO down in Omaha. He's a York native out of Nebraska. David Meir. David is from St. John's University, and he's working over with Coach Meyer in his office, and he's also helping us. So he's got 2 jobs going. And so I know Coach Meyer's keeping him busy a lot of the days as well. Kyle Jacobson is a student assistant for us. He isn't here. But that's our staff, along with 20 years now, I believe, Brad Christensen, who's working over at the high school and has kind of been an adjunct assistant for us since I was a junior here playing. So BC's not here, but again, we thank him for all he does, and it's obviously a big part of what we do. Up here in this weight room, Coach Berner is our strength coach, and we always tell him, I love the science that Coach Berner brings with our athletes. And we're not up here all the time when our guys are lifting. I think it's great to hear a different voice sometimes for our players. And Coach Berner's voice isn't always really loud. It's always a little bit more soft-spoken. But the work we do up here and the science behind it means a lot to our program. So I want to thank Coach Berner and his staff for everything they do up here, because it means a lot. And you know, you see guys, we got some young freshmen just in a few months that have already lost a little bit of weight and then turned around and added 12 to 13 pounds. And they're losing some of that weight that's not necessarily good weight, and then they're adding on that 10 to 12 to 13 pounds of really good weight. So it means a lot for us now, but in the road with some of these young people we got, because we've got a lot of young guys. I want to talk about, you know, our practices. We've had 13 practices. We haven't had a scrimmage yet. Tonight's going to be our first real look And we're going to play a team. It's got some scattered former players from South Dakota, from Montana, from Washington. So, you know, there'll be a good collective group of guys to compete against. They'll have a different uniform on than us. And that's going to be an important thing. So we're excited about tonight. The women are having an inter-squad at 6, and we're going to take the court at about 7:30. So we're still looking for an official because we've had one bail. So if anybody's out there that wants to officiate, let me know. Coach Fred's on the very short list, which I'm hoping that list doesn't get that short, right? But, you know, as far as the practices have gone, you guys, we've lost our top 4 scorers. And the thing I think we get with that, we get a group of guys back. We got 10 returning players with this group, all of which, I should say a lot of which, have got a lot of experience. Their roles are going to change. You know, we got a couple guys in Jared Hannigan and Trent Zomer over here who roles from the last few years are going to change to this year. And along with those two, there's other returning guys that roles are going to change. And so with these practices, we've been trying to build and trying to work on identifying a little bit of where we're going to have to put some people, personnel-wise. And a guy like Seth Bashan, who we've played a lot at an undersized post, we're going to play him at some 4, as well as some 5. And, you know, guys like Mitch White and Jared, who have really been 2 of our best defensive players and a team that's been ranked in the top 3 defensively these last couple years, those 2 are guys that have really done a lot for us defensively. We're going to ask a little bit more out of them offensively. Trent, who I think has had a great spring, summer, fall, getting prepared for this season, is someone I think now that Colin's gone and Tetz is gone, he has a great opportunity in front of him to kind of step forward. And because Trent can do some things really well. He can shoot the ball well. He can get inside and have some space inside and create some space, but he can really rebound well and make plays defensively. He's long, he's athletic. So, you know, he'll get more opportunities, you know, as we continue to practice and as we play to kind of show some of the things that he can do. And it's going to be fun to see. You know, Ty Storensen didn't get a chance to really rehab coming off his first ACL before he hurt it a second time. Ty's the oldest guy on our team, right? But he's a junior. And, you know, he's still got 2 years left. It's been fun to see him practice and compete. But we got to understand it's been 2 years since Ty's really done anything competitively on the court. So this is his 13th practice. I think he's missed 1 practice where we just sat him just because he didn't need to go 6 practices in a row. So, you know, some more of the returning guys, you know, Sky Warwick, who, along with Mac Arvidsson, we put a lot on last year backing up a point guard. When Ty went down with an ACL, we put a lot on Sky, a guy that we were going to redshirt to come in and fill that void. And he did a great job backing up Jeffrey. Can shoot the ball extremely well. He's got great range. He's a very heady player. He's going to lack a little bit of the same explosiveness that maybe Jeffrey had, but yet I think he thinks the game better than most people do. And that's a big thing for him, is to kind of understand his skill level's really high. He's thinking the game really well, and he shoots it extremely well. And with how we play, I think, you know, Sky has a chance to have a really good year, along with Mac Arvidsson, who, you know, last year, Mac's first collegiate game against the UNC Pembroke out in Anaheim, he had 20 points. I think 18 of them were in the second half. So he's showing off right out of the gate that he's offensively can really bring some things. He's added about 15 pounds, and we feel like Mac's going to, you know, be able to continue to step in. Only a sophomore in his second year is going to continue to step in, give us some of that scoring, but also improve, you know, on the defensive side of the floor. So, you know, those are a lot of our returning guys that played. Returning guys that redshirted were Darren Paterka. They were Michael Schreiber. You know, those 2 guys, along with Spencer Pankinen. If you remember Spencer 2 years ago, I think when Colin got hurt, Spencer came off the bench at Mankato and gave us maybe 10 or 12 points. And at Southwest gave us 10 or 12 points. And really stepped up when we had injury. Last year we redshirted Spencer. And, you know, he's put on weight. He's, you know, maybe 6'7", 215 pounds. He can really shoot it well. And so to go along with Trent and Spencer and Seth, all of them are fairly versatile players. They can stretch the floor a little bit, and they can play inside. You add someone like Michael Schreiber, who's from Rogers, Minnesota, 6'8", about 200 40 pounds, 45 pounds, space eater. I call him kind of the below-the-rim version of Pekovic from the Timberwolves. He just loves contact. He can score either shoulder. He's learning to get more confident and not worrying about getting blocked. The good thing about it, he's going every day is going against a 6'10 guy, and he's doing a good job of scoring against Carter. So, you know, with Michael just being a freshman, there's going to be a lot of new things for him that he's going to find out about himself, and we're going to find out a lot about what he can bring. So, you know, those are three guys that were here last year that redshirted that'll really help our team. A couple of the new guys, and we've got a lot of new guys. We've got 6 freshmen that are on our roster that weren't here last year. And so along with those 6, we've got 2 guys we redshirted. That's 8 freshmen, you know, 8 freshmen of our 16 guys, which is exciting, but it also might, you know, put us in a hospital at some point in time, you know, in some mental institution, just trying to figure out what the heck we're doing with 8 freshmen. But a couple of the guys that have really been impressive that, you know, without question can give us something this year. Carter Evans, 6'10", about 235 pounds from Rochester. He'll have some practices where he looks like a freshman, and he'll have some practices where he'll do things that we don't have anyone else that they can't do. So he brings that element. He can run really well, got great hands, and he jumps out of the gym. And so his length and athleticism, and you know, he's a good teammate. And so his length and athleticism is something I think you throw in the mix this year. He can add a lot to our program. He's going to have days where he looks like a freshman. He'll have days when he makes some plays that do not look like a freshman. So, you know, it's going to be a continuing growth process with him. Another freshman that I've been really impressed with is DJ Pollard from St. Louis Park. A guy that we want to redshirt, a guy that to us right now is, you know, maybe we won't redshirt him. And, but it's still up in the air right now. A lot of it kind of depends. You know, a guy, I don't know if I mentioned him, but Darren Paterka from Miller, who redshirted last year. Darren's a guy that we really hope will fill that void at the perimeter, giving us some depth. And, you know, DJ's really showing us that maybe he's a guy that can come and help us fill some perimeter depth. But we've got some other young guys. Tanner Heiser, Zach Tolson, Dan Beckham, and Malcolm Seals are all guys that are doing a great job in practice. It's just they're freshmen, and they're learning, and some days are better than others. But they're really doing a good job. Some things from last year to this year. I think this year our team, I love our culture right now in our program. I love their work ethic. I love their approach. I think they're guys that are trying to do everything they can do to get better every day. And whether it's time in the gym when we don't have practice or when it's during practice, you know, I think their focus and really trying to be the best team we can be has been something that has really been noticeable in our practices. We've added size. We've lost 2 guys in Colin and Tetzloff that were really good players, no question. I think we're replacing them with a little more size, a little more athleticism, but you're still losing 27, 28 points between those 2 guys, and you're losing, you know, close to 13 to 14 rebounds with those 2 guys. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit by committee filling that void, but I think we can. I think our ball movement, our passing will be better than what it was last year. We just got to continue to improve on it. And I also think we're going to be able to stretch the floor a little bit from 3, more so than we did last year. You know, obviously some of the improvement things we got to work on is we got to continue to work on filling some roles. You know, what's my job? How can we, you know, what can I do to help this team the most? We've got experience back, but we're going to be counting on some guys that don't have a lot of experience. And we just got to, we've been a really good rebound and defensive team. And you lose 2 really good rebounders in Tetzloff and Collin. You lose a really good on-ball defender in Jeffrey Furman. You lose a lot of your defense and rebounding. And I know in our team we have the ability to come back and still be one of those teams in the top 3 in those categories. But we got to come out and earn it, and it's going to take a lot of hard work, and it's going to take these guys really buying in like they have through the good and the bad, and you know, to reach that point to where we can maximize the potential that we have. Tonight we play the Blue Angels. Like I said, after tonight we go and we play Creighton on Friday, so we get to get on the road and play a team that's probably going to be ranked in the top 15 or 20 against one of the better players in college basketball in Doug McDermott. But they've got 3 returners back, and you know, they're going to be a very good team, fun to play against. After that, we the following weekend we'll be playing Central Missouri down in the Sanford tip-off on Saturday, and then we'll be playing Missouri Western on Sunday. I think that's a 4 o'clock game on Saturday and a 2 o'clock game on Sunday. Both of these teams are out of the MIAA, which is in our region now. We are no longer, obviously, it's been a year removed that we've been with the RMAC. So these are 2 really important regional games for us. They're exempt games. They're going to be in the new Pentagon down in Sioux Falls. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun environment. It's where our conference tournament's going to be played. I think our conference is doing great things with our conference tournament, having it in the Pentagon, and they're going to follow the same format that the Summit League does. And I really think it's going to make for some great, exciting postseason basketball down there. We got to get down there, and we're excited about that opportunity. So with that, I will answer any questions that you guys might have. Yeah, I mean, we really emphasize the same. You know, we want to run, we want to push as much as we can. But at the end of the day, it's not about trying to get the shot off as quick as you can. I mean, we want to push to an advantage. If the defensive team hasn't got back in transition, you know, we've really worked on getting the ball up the floor, our post running. We've got depth inside, so it's something I think when you've got bigs that can run, we've got some shooters that we can get wide and get the ball pitched ahead. You want to have any kind of advantage you can. You want to pitch it up the floor and try to get easy baskets. But we've also got to be smart enough to understand when it's not there, I think we can be a very good half-court offensive team because, you know, we keep emphasizing with our guys. I really think since I've been here, we've got a team that is full of guys that are players. They're guys that understand how to play. They're just not going out there and following patterns. They're not just going out there and running offense. They're going out there and reading defenses and moving the ball. So, you know, we might kick it around early, trying to do too much, but we need to settle in and learn how to play. And I told the guys tonight, we haven't got a baseline out of bounds in yet. We haven't got a sideline out of bounds in yet. We've got a few sets that we put in. We need to learn how to play because I still believe when we play a team for a second and third time, you know, that's when, for us, we need to be at our best. And I think that's when we have a chance to be at our best. But any other questions? Seth won't play tonight. Injury-wise, the foot is still bothering him here and there. He's been able to practice most practices, if not all of it, limited. And we're going to hold him out tonight, and we're going to discuss whether we're going to play him Friday against Creighton. You know, when we were 16-5 last year when he went down, and he just brings a certain energy that you can't replace it. If everybody on our team could bring that kind of energy and enthusiasm, and he plays so hard, it would make for an unbelievably special team. So he's one of those guys that everybody can learn from. But I was talking to Coach Fred today. If he plays, he'll play with pain, and that pain will turn into a serious injury. So we've got to be really smart because he's not. He just will just keep playing. He will just keep playing, and that's what I love about him. He's one of the funnest guys to coach because it's relentless every day, every practice. In the summer, I mean, it's just with him, it's all the time. It's probably why his foot still hurts from last year. Any other questions on that? Okay, I'm going to introduce a couple guys. Our 2 seniors. We got Jared Hannigan. Both these guys came in when Jared he made a commitment early, but was here when I got the job. He'd already committed and came, and we were lucky to have that happen. I mean, I can remember smiling from ear to ear being out at the state AA tournament, accepting a job, watching Jared play for Central, knowing that he was already coming here to be a Wolf. And one of the toughest guys I've ever coached. He never has a bad day in practice. And I tell you, in a game, whether it's good, bad, whether it's going his way or not, it's the same effort all the time, and it's never the different body language. And what he's meant to our team with his toughness over the years has been phenomenal. And so Jared's coming into his senior year already. Time's flying. Trent came in also. Trent had to sit out our first year with some NCAA eligibility rules that we're always still trying to figure out those things. But he sat out his first year, and he's played the last 3. The last 2. And this is his 3rd year of playing on the court. You know, Trent came in and kind of got in a little bit of the shadow of Colin Pryor. You know, it's an opportunity for him this year to really step up and show what he's capable of doing. And, you know, we're excited about that. Both of these guys do an exceptional job in the classroom. Our team GPA was over a 3.2 last spring, and that's something we're really proud of, and these two guys are great examples of being total student athletes. So I'm going to let Jared come up and say a few words, and then Trent can come up afterwards.
All right, well, we're really looking forward to the season getting going. Preseason gets it along, and we're working hard. Everybody's pushing each other. We got the snow on the ground, so definitely time to stay in and watch some basketball, that's for sure. Preseason, we're tired of pushing each other, you know, looking at the same guy every day, getting into his face, and it's time to go against somebody else out there. So it's going to be nice to get out there and play. Tet's one of my buddies tonight, and just some new faces out there. And then also, we got Creighton on Friday, and that's gonna be quite the show, going against Doug McDermott, one of the top players in the nation. And they're definitely going to just expose us in ways we haven't seen in the last few months. And it's just going to be fun to have somebody else pushing us other than our teammates every day. So we're looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys are too. So here's Trent.
As Coach said, we graduated 3 starters, so it opens up a lot of opportunities for guys to step up. I mean, we're a team that can go 10, 12, 13 guys deep, so we really want to take advantage of that and run teams off their legs. So we're looking forward to tonight and the start of the season.
Questions for these guys at all?
You get a chance to ask the ladies, but what are your majors?
Mine's business management.
I'm sports management.
When will you start growing your beard that we found last year?
Well, I shaved this morning, so it should be back by tonight.